Welcome everybody. This is Shared Chapters, episode 2. This is Sarah, and
I'm Emily.
thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
We'll just start off really quick with some. What are we starting off?
book book reads good.
Oh
Good
yeah,
read
book.
to be read updates. Our top three.
Yes.
Do you want me to go
Yeah.
first? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So I have on here my Goodreads. So the latest three that I have on here is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Have you read that one at all?
Yes, actually I
You
have
have?
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
so you can borrow it if you would like. But
Yeah, and just the first one because I haven't. I guess it's a
yep.
series. Trial of the Sun Queen by Tasha J. Tooley. Also, if I say names incorrectly, I apologize. But people get my name
Sorry
wrong
about it.
too. So,
That's right. Son of a.
Trial of the Sun Queen. So there's that. And then the most recent one I have on here is The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Schaefer. I really want to read
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I think it would be a good switch up from the fantasy books that I've been reading, but I've kind of have started the movie before, didn't finish it, but
Oh, it's
with the
so good.
yeah, but with the Taylor Swift, the Tortured Poets Department coming out, I don't know. People say Dead Poet Society. I say potato pie, potato peel pie society.
Potato.
So
Yeah.
so that's my most recent three.
My most recent three are this is all, oh, I guess it's not all, yeah, it's pretty much all crime. But let me be clear, I do not like thriller psycho crime. I like, hey, somebody was murdered. We gotta solve this mystery
Okay, so very
crime.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, not like abduction or some scary stuff like that. I don't
Yeah.
like. It's How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. Perrine. I don't know. It looks really good. It's part of a series. I guess this one's not. Well, I don't know if it's actually crime or not, but I really like the cover, and it's A Bakery in Paris by
Okay.
Amy Runyon.
Okay.
Sorry, rhymes with onion. Probably not though. And then Murder and Postscript by Mary Winters. So
Interesting.
yeah, those are my most recent ads to Goodreads.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Shall we?
everybody, yes, we're going to talk
Fourth
about
wing.
dun dun dun.
Fourth wing.
Dun dun dun.
Fourth wing by
Fourth wing.
Rebecca Yarrows.
Yes. Woohoo. Go Rebecca.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, for everybody who doesn't actually know much about Rebecca, she has also written a lot of, I think they're singular novels, but they're very romancy,
I know there are a lot of
singular.
military romance because her husband's
Yeah.
been a part of the military.
Yeah. So I hear those are pretty good. Just putting that out there. But
I,
anyway,
I would like to start out with Article 1, Section 1, the Dragon Rider's Codex. A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead.
boom.
Okay.
All right.
Violet. We meet Violet Swarringale. And then she goes off to meet her friend Rhiannon. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
say it. And
Rhiannon is how I
also
say it.
Rhiannon. That's probably right. And then she
Yeah.
goes off to meet Mr.
Dun,
Xaden,
dun, dun.
Ryorson,
Zeta.
Xaden. And then she gets through to go on the parapet. She makes it into the rider's quadrant. And then she runs into her old pal, Mr. Dane.
Boo.
Mr. Dane. That on the parapet, I would like to point out that is her first encounter with Jack Barlow.
Oh, yes. The deadly, deadly Jack
The
Barlow.
deadly Jack Barlow. And from there, they go through all like the rider games and they go
Yep.
through threshing. That's whenever the dragons, I think, meet, or the
Pick.
presentation day is whenever they walk through all the dragons and then they finally get through all like the gauntlet and stuff like that. And then that's when the dragons get to pick them.
Right.
And Miss Violet gets bonded to two dragons.
Yep, Dos Amigos.
Dos
Because
amigos.
she's trying to defend one of the little baby dragons,
Yes.
and the like freaking biggest, most badass dragon is like, "Hey, stop picking on."
Yeah. My lady friend told me to stop
Yeah.
you. And the lady friend is also Xaden's dragon.
Yes, they're bonded.
They are
Violet's, how do you say his name? Terran, probably, or
Tarnagog
something like that. Yeah,
and
whatever his giant full name is.
Tarnan. I say just say
Yeah.
Tarnan, and then Adarna.
Yep.
Then they go off on war games, and Xaden and Violet are just button heads. She secretly likes him though.
Yeah. It's a classic enemies to lovers,
Yes,
but not
enemies to lovers.
really. I feel like, I mean, I guess they're enemies due to the fact that Xaden was pretty much like punished by the
Her
people
mother.
that her mom works for. Yeah.
Her mother.
Yeah, specifically. Lilith.
Yeah, Lilith. Yeah.
Lilith. Yeah. Her brother also is supposedly died during this, which everybody, this contains spoilers. If we didn't say at the beginning, we're saying it now.
Yep.
Later, you find out Brennan isn't actually dead. And you find
Right.
out a lot of other stuff.
Yes. But I would first like to ask you what your favorite part of the book was.
My favorite moment, I feel like it's lame to say, like seeing Brennan like not actually dead.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I mean, I think that's a really pivotal thing, but it happens like right at the end. So, like, there's
Right.
the cliffhanger that goes into the next book.
Yep.
I think my favorite moment is I don't have a specific favorite moment because I really like all of the moments where she is conversing with Taryn, her,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, adult dragon,
Mm-hmm.
just because I think he's very integral to how Violet's character develops.
Yeah.
So I would
I think
say
he
any
gives her
any moment
confidence.
really.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I think
What
my
about you?
favorite I think my favorite part is when Violet climbs up into that tree and then all the rebel children are meeting under there. Xaden and Imogene and Garrick and Bodhi and Liam and da 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 da.
Yeah, everybody else.
They are all meeting under there. She is like, oh, he can't see me, he can't see me, he can't see me. And then she jumps down and he's like, did you really think I didn't know you were there?
Yeah.
All this stuff. But that leads to a different plot twist in the second book. But I think that was my favorite part because he told her, like, you have to stand up for yourself, especially against Jack Barlow. There's going to be a lot of people that want to kill you here.
Yep.
You're the weakest link, or so everyone expects you to be the weakest link.
Yeah.
So if you want to scare them, you got to start throwing your daggers.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I think that was oh, he's not going to kill me, but he also doesn't really like me, or seems like
Right.
he doesn't like me, but he's giving me this advice.
Yeah, it was like
Hmm.
their first real moment, I think I would say, besides meeting for the first time, like before she crosses the parpet. Uh,
Parpet.
where, huh? Parpet, is that how you say it?
I say parpet.
Parfait. Parapet? Oh, that's probably right. So I think it's, yeah, an integral moment where they just really, I think they're connecting on a other level besides like, oh, I hate you, we're sworn enemies.
Yeah,
So,
right.
did
Um,
you have a favorite character?
I like obviously I like Radok, and I like
He's my favorite.
he's one of my favorites. I think I like him obviously because of the comedic energy he
Yeah.
brings. But I also really like Adarna and Tiernan, obviously. But I also really like
Hmm.
Slegel. How would you say Xaden's?
Sagel.
Sagel. I get that. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if that's correct, so don't blow my
Xaden's
head off,
dragon. I
everybody.
really like.
Yeah.
There's something more there, and I'm
Yes.
excited about that. What were your first impressions of the book?
I'm gonna go both like negative and positive
Okay.
on this. I liked the energy of the book. I thought it had good transitions into, what was coming up next.
Yeah.
However, I am disappointed that Xaden and Violet's relationship didn't develop more slowly, and like maybe that's just
Yeah.
the trope that I like. I felt like Dane's relationship with Violet wasn't really explained or could have been explained much more like in depth, or maybe there could have been like more connection, because I think it would have been a much more dramatic development if their relationship, Xaden and Violet's, had been pushed even, I mean, even just a book later.
Right.
So I just feel like it's rushed into, I guess.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where you have found with different books or in TV shows or whatever. It's that,
Hmm.
ooh, they said I love you too quick. That means
Yes,
something
yeah,
really bad's going to happen, or he's not the end game love interest.
yeah. I think that's my reaction for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely spooky, but Rebecca Yarrows has said, like, have faith in me and stuff like that.
Yeah, which maybe means like there's something better on the horizon for Violet. Not that
Yeah.
Xaden isn't like good for her at the
Mm-mm.
moment, at least. But you know, I just think it was really soon.
Yeah. As a young person who would fit in the new adult genre, both of us would fit in the new adult genre. But me being, I am Xaden's age, I am
Hmm.
23. It was a very immature, it's a very immature relationship. And granted,
Yeah,
that could be because Violet, she's what, 18 or so,
yeah,
something like that. Like she's a young person not being in a relationship or to the stakes that they are in right
right.
now. So I don't, I'm like, these are people are dying and you're crying
Fucking
because,
around.
yeah, because he didn't say hi to you or something in the
He's
hallway. I
not
don't,
telling me the truth.
yeah, I don't, it's those kind of things. I thought it was a very quick read,
Yeah,
maybe because it's not, the language that's used in it isn't very,
it's not complicated.
yeah, it's not, and it's not, yeah, they're advanced and adult ideas, but it's not necessarily like that classic writing of Shakespeare where you're like, what's
Yeah,
he saying? But
right.
I mean, I will say I like the second one more, Iron Flame more. I know people
Yep.
really think that this could even just be a standalone book. I don't really get that, but to each their own. You do
Yeah.
you, man. I wanted to talk about the theories of Fourth
Okay.
Wing, the Empyrean series. Granted, Iron Flame has since come out since after Fourth Wing, so some of these
Yes.
theories have been resolved.
Resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, for Xaden's second signet,
Right.
him being able to read minds. Spoiler! Spoiler!
Spoiler. Hey, hey, everybody. There's
Spoiler!
a spoiler.
But it's interesting. I was flipping through again. I didn't want to do a full reread because I'm on to the second Throne of Glass. But why did we up in the tree? He knew she was there.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that theory has been resolved. Another theory I have, and other people have, Xaden's mom is Venom.
Yes,
That
I
is,
totally believe that.
yeah, that hasn't been resolved yet. There is one part in the book though that really makes me question.
Ooh, tell it, tell it, tell it.
Okay, so in the book, the little introduction area of chapter 37. But it was the third brother who commanded the sky to surrender its greatest power, who finally vanquished his jealous sibling at a great and terrible price. the origin, the fables of the Baron. That to me, I'm like, we are going to get something about that story and what
Yeah,
became of the Baron and the third brother. Xaden's
I
mom is
have
Benin.
one.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Xaden's mom is Benin, and okay, so I saw on some blog that people were thinking that Violet's mom, Lilith, started, so she like crosses the parapet in a storm,
Yep.
and people were saying that her mom started the storm, basically, I think to try to like off her.
I don't think that she was trying to off her. I have heard that theory. I don't think
Yeah,
was trying to off her. I think she was trying to see if she was even capable of that challenge.
yeah,
Possibly.
right. So yeah, because Lilith, I guess, signet is like
Storm
weather
wielding.
related.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a theory. I was like, oh, that never even crossed my mind.
Yeah. No, it didn't. No. And we knew her signet so like very early
Yeah.
on. What about Violet having a second signet?
Yeah.
Because
A
she has
lot
two
of,
dragons.
right. Right. I mean, I think she's going to,
Hmm.
just because like Xaden does, and they're bonded
Yeah.
because of their dragons. So I think she's going to. Personally, I think it's siphoning,
Okay.
which like siphoning other people's powers.
Yep. And
Uh
why do you think that?
so in chapter 8,
Hmm.
they're in class with Professor Kaori, or however you say his name.
Hmm.
You have it highlighted? Okay. So they're in class with Professor Kaori, and they're talking about the moment when General Nolan, or however you say
Yeah.
his name, was going to use his siphoning signet to try and save Brennan,
Yeah.
which, spoiler alert, Brennan's not dead.
Yeah.
But there's a moment where Jack Barlow is like, hey, what can kill that kind of signet? And the professor glances at Violet.
Yeah.
And I think readers can interpret that as, oh, well, he glances at her because clearly they're talking about Brennan.
Hmm.
But I think he could be glancing at her because he knows that that's going to be her second signet, or like has an inclination that that is going to be her second one. I think it can be easily assumed that he's just glancing at her because clearly this is about her dead relative. But
Yeah. See,
when
yeah.
when Yaros was like, the answers are pretty much like right in front of you guys,
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't think it's siphoning.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it is. I think I need to do a reread and really, because I mean, Adarna stopped time, but apparently that her power,
Dissipates.
yeah, went
Yeah.
away. There's people have talked about siphoning. I've heard people have talked
Yeah.
about reading minds, just like Xaden, or moving. What's that
Hmm.
called? The same thing that Rhiannon has.
Yeah.
Um, I've heard that. I don't know yet. I need to do a reread. I highlighted that because Niolan
Yeah. Yeah. Naolin, or
was Tyrannon's rider. Tyrannon's old rider tried to save Brennan.
yeah.
That is weird to me because first of all, that's Violet's relative, and Tyrannon
Right.
decides to bond with her,
Right.
and Tyrannon refuses to talk about it in Iron Flame, like the first chat. Like he
Yeah.
refuses to
Yeah.
talk about his old rider, but he knew Brennan was alive then.
Right.
And so I'm just kind of confused, and I have a feeling that I hope that that will come up again and get
Yeah,
that
like
kind of
that
resolution.
whole situation is like described, and we talk about it.
Yeah, because if Brendan wasn't resurrected, does that mean
Yeah.
that the rider died for a different reason, or the rider's still alive and now he's Venom?
That's what that was my question, as one of my theories, is
Yeah,
like, did Naolan actually resurrect Brennan? And if not, where is he?
Hmm.
Because they're saying that if a rider dies, there's a potential that a dragon dies.
Yeah, the dragon doesn't always have to die, but they most
Yeah,
of the time
but there's
they
a
choose to.
potential. Yeah. So, my like if Taryn was so I maybe connected to Naolan, but then he turned Venin, maybe he was like, okay, well, like we have to stop this, so I have to pick another writer.
Yeah. I have another question. Why do you think that less dragons are willing or trying to bond? Less and less every year. But more
I
riders, it's the same amount of riders, but less dragons.
Yeah, right. I would not be I how do I want to phrase this? So we know so little. We
Hmm.
know so little about dragons, even from the second book. We know so little about like dragon kind.
Yeah.
So number one, I'm hoping that gets resolved in the third book or, the following, because I think we're going to be like submerged into that world, or at least I hope we are,
Yeah.
because there's so much there that we're not getting information about.
Hmm.
I am wondering if dragons are like not connecting with humans, not getting riders, if it's because they are preparing for a huge a huge war.
That's what I think.
Yep.
I think they
And
know
trying to
something.
avoid, yeah,
Hmm. I think they know something is up, obviously.
yeah,
Obviously.
clearly.
Yeah, that was just one of my questions because I was like, that's it's just another theme that like gets brought up in the other book. Like, oh, even less writers than there was in our class.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's like consistently brought up.
Hmm. I'd also the silver, the silver hair.
Yes.
Do you think that has anything to do with anything?
Yeah, 100%. I think
Okay.
Violet's silver hair is representative of something that happened either like during Lilith's pregnancy with Violet,
Hmm.
whether that be an onslaught from possibly her father being Venom,
Hmm.
or, her mother getting infected by a Venom or
Something.
something like that during her pregnancy. Yeah, so those, but I think about that and I wonder, because Violet and Brennan and Mira, can't forget Mira, the sister,
Hmm.
all had relationships with the father.
But also, Mira has her hair cut, and so does Lilith. And
Yeah,
Mira told Violet, "You should have cut your hair
yeah,
to keep safe from the people pulling it during
yeah.
fighting."
But
And I
I
don't
think
think
you're
that.
right though.
Yeah,
Yep, I think
I
you're right that that's funky. Tangled,
yeah,
where she cuts her hair, or he cuts her hair to save her life, type of
yep.
thing.
And there's Xaden the silver. There are they always say his silver scars. His silver
Yes,
scars.
yes.
His silver
I
scars. His
highlighted that
silver
too.
scars. Yeah. So I don't know. I know Rebecca Yarrows said that like yeah, it means something and we'll get tastes of that later.
Right.
Yeah, I don't there's a lot of little things in here that I'm like, that's gonna mean something.
Yeah,
It has
exactly.
to. There's like,
Right.
why would you write that out and it not mean something?
And repeatedly touch upon it,
Yes.
like the fact that she's clearly typing out silver
Yeah.
means something.
Yeah.
So I believe that 100%.
Right.
I did see folks were, not to like backtrack onto Violet's signet, but I did read that people were wondering if she had the power of resurrection.
Okay. Because yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either. But there's a lot, like, I think the signets that are like documented, I don't think that's it. There's got to be people out there hiding shit for sure.
well, that's hiding stuff. I was just going to ask, do you think that the scribes changed history?
Yeah, I do. I
I
don't
agree.
necessarily think they're I think they are I think they get into this world where, well, we have to like change this or throw away this
Hmm.
or get rid of this, thinking that they're protecting like, you know, humankind from all these awful things, but
Right.
then those awful things happen because history repeats itself.
Yeah.
And who's the scribe? What's her name?
Jan-
Jez wait.
Janisa.
Yeah. Or Jacina.
Just Jesseniana. Jess. J-
Guys, we're very good at pronunciations.
I didn't go to school for this. Jessenina.
Jezania, I don't know.
Jesnia. Whatever.
Comment below what you think.
I was just gonna ask, do you think that the transcripts at the top, because it says they are transcribed by her and preserved,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
do you think that the transcripts mean that they're dead? Or
No, I don't think so.
I agree. A lot of people are like, that means they're dead. It
Yeah,
does
I know. I
say,
saw
may their
that.
souls be commended to Malik. Malik, that's how I say it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, I mean, a lot of people have died
Yeah.
in this
Right.
series so far. So I think that's just to maybe scare us, but also just to say, because that's what's on the death toll or the death roll scroll
Yes.
thing.
Yes, exactly. Well, and
I,
that might just be a phrase that they put on documentation like that,
yeah,
you know.
or yeah,
And
or
who's to say like when Jacina is transcribing this stuff? Like maybe this is a series that is set back, 70 years and they're starting to transcribe things now, that
right.
there's nothing to say that there isn't
Hmm.
that isn't happening like that. So,
Yeah, it says in the beginning where it says that it's being transcribed by her,
mhm.
curator of the scribe quadrant at Ascath Ward College. So I think it's just these were left behind or they were given to her, or
Yeah,
like I think that there's going to be another
offshoot.
crazy, not even offshoot, but like another crazy battle at some point.
Oh,
I mean,
oh, oh.
there's going to be 5 books in the series and we're only on 2,
Yeah.
so who's to say?
Yeah, I agree. I don't we've had a few, battles just I think but not as detrimental.
Right.
I was just gonna say, do you think Liam is actually dead?
Yeah, he's dead. She has said that he's like not coming back.
Yeah,
But that's for the second book because someone else
that's
comes
right.
back alive. There's a lot of resurrection here.
Yes, see,
I mean, I get it,
does it
but
mean? What do you think of the her healer, the guy who was always healing her? I think he knows a lot more than.
I think he knows a lot, but
Hmm.
not necessarily healing, but kind of on Violet always needing to be healed.
Hmm.
On page 484, chapter 38, this is after the fight when RIP Liam dies.
Yep.
Spoiler, he's
Spoiler:
dead.
Liam died. He did.
Whenever she was stabbed, or I don't remember what happened. Whenever with
She
the
was like stabbed in the side or something.
yeah, with like the venom poison, it says her blood is fucking black. Xaden snaps, and to me, I haven't read anything about being like the venom having like black blood or different colored. I mean, their eyes change, but that to
Hmm.
me, I'm like maybe it was black to begin with.
Have we seen her bleed?
I don't remember. I don't know if it's ever been described. I'm sure she has because she's fragile and she gets like broken bones and stuff like that. But when he said her blood is fucking black and the word black is in italics,
Yeah.
I just, to me, I just read that and I was like, ooh, maybe it
Hmm.
always has been.
Right. Like,
I don't,
why would?
she's a
Because
weird
do they
one.
describe? Do they describe what happens when people poisoned?
No, because I tried to look up
Yeah.
online, like Venom blood or like anything about Venom, like the descriptions and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. I couldn't find anything. Maybe it has said like, or maybe they have talked about Violet, but I'm like, whenever he said that, when I read that, I was like, ooh,
Something's funky.
that's kind of
Yeah.
weird, right?
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
On chapter 39 in Xaden's POV, the top transcription or whatever you want to call it says, "You're all cowards." The last words of Fen Ryerson, redacted. That's Xaden's dad, Fen
Yes.
Ryerson.
Yes.
When he said, "You're all cowards," he's talking to Lilith, he's talking to all the other
Yep.
generals and whoever. He knew that they knew, like,
Yeah.
something's happening, something is coming, and you guys won't see it because you think that it's being rebellious, but you're not. Like, you just think I'm crazy, and you're all
Yeah.
cowards. You
Right.
change the history to fit your
Mm-hmm.
narrative. You're all cowards. And that,
Yep.
like, when I read that, I was like, oh,
Here we
here
go.
we
Guys,
go.
this is a lesson. Do not skip over little chapter intros. Do not skip them.
I am one of those people. I did a couple of times, and now I'm like, I have to go back.
Shit.
I
Yeah.
have to go back.
Exactly.
I've also seen a theory of Bodhi actually being Zayden's brother,
Oh,
like
instead of his
full
cousin?
brother. Yeah. And I'm like,
Okay.
I don't really know. I don't remember the reasoning behind it. Uh,
Yeah.
but I was like, I don't necessarily think that he needs a brother in it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm like, I
Okay.
don't really know what that would
Yeah.
for the story.
Yeah, I don't know that that would do anything to their relationship
Right.
development just because they're already basically brothers,
Yeah.
even though they're just cousins.
Right.
So,
Do you have any other theories?
I don't have a theory. Well, I do. I think I think somebody in Violet's inner circle is going to betray her. Like really betray her, not like Zayden's lying to me again or, stupid
He
bebullshit
betrayed
like that.
me. He
Yeah, not like
lied.
that, but like really betrayed her. And listen, guys, this has spoilers. For the 500th time, Dane reads her mind, sees her memories or whatever the frick he does. So, like, obviously, that is a privacy, like, betrayal. And some things happen in the next book, blah, blah, blah. He clearly, like, crosses that line. But I'm talking about a real bloody betrayal.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of her quote unquote close friends.
I don't agree, but that's
I
just me.
I hope so because I want my heart to shatter.
Well, okay, so what was your react? Did you have an emotional reaction at all during just Fourth Wing? Not even not Iron Flame, nothing like that. But
An emotional, like I had formed an emotional attachment to somebody.
yeah,
No. I formed a I guess I you could say I formed a slight emotional attachment to Riddock or however you say his name.
Murdoch, yeah.
Um just because I think like if he betrays, I would be like, "Oh, she got me. She got me." Because
You
I
got
just think
me.
I think he's a very good comedic relief character. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I almost don't think, I just feel like I didn't have time to.
Hmm.
Like things just progressed and jumped so rapidly. If Taryn or Taryn died, I would be very, very sad.
Yeah, that's like no questions asked. I think I would be
Yeah.
very upset. I don't have an attachment to Violet or Xaden. I mean, I like them
Mm-mm.
and I like them together. I think it's like a funny whatever they have going
Back
on.
and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was on TikTok, people were having like emotional turmoil
Yeah.
when Liam
Yeah.
died. And
See?
I maybe it's I have read books where I'm like jaws on the floor, like no way that just happened.
Yeah.
And that kind of didn't surprise me, I guess. It was very much like oh, we're gonna get a taste of him, and you're gonna start to like him, guys, but don't like him that much.
Bye
It was, yeah,
bye.
to me, it was very much like, oh, I saw that coming. I
Yeah.
saw that coming.
Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised somebody died in the first book,
Yeah.
that we were like supposed to really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I liked Liam.
Mm-hmm.
I understood that he was like helping keep an eye on her, helping her survive, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I just don't even think that relationship for what it was had developed enough.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not
that's
really
my,
getting the closeness. I'm
mm-mm.
even with Ryan, I'm not.
No,
I'm not
because
either.
they became, I just think
It was very quick. It's
think it's
very
all
quick
too
relationships.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really talk to each other and like had the relationship kind of more intricately develop, I think
Yeah.
I would have been much more invested.
I think it was a thank you for giving me your shoe.
Yeah.
Now we're best friends. And maybe your theory's right. And it was a very quick, like, oh, I know who you are and I'm going to be your friend. But
Well, just imagine it. Let's say, I mean, everybody knows who the Sorengales are.
mhm,
It could be, this is my theory, guys, that Rhiannon sought her out, knew she was going to be there, knew she was going to be crossing the parapet near the same time, and pretended to be somebody who didn't know what she was doing just to gain access. I
whatever.
could see it, but I like to be sabotaged.
That's awful.
Yeah, but it just makes it a better story.
I just don't agree with that. What was your least favorite part?
My least favorite part was, I don't know. The every Dane scene made me cringe, even right from the beginning when you were like, "Oh, I think they're supposed to like each other,"
Hmm.
like before Xaden, like actually they form a relationship. All those like maybe so, just
Yeah.
like creeped me out. I didn't like him. I don't like Dane. I'm not defending Dane when I say I don't think he betrayed her, but I thought he was kind of like
He's a
creepy.
puppet. That's all he is. He's a puppet.
Yeah. Yeah, literally not thinking for himself,
No.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't like really any scene with him in it.
Oh, when
And
he kissed
then,
her.
ew, gross. Blech.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
bad.
so forced. I didn't like Violet and Xaden's first love scene, which is like when he's like outside and she's outside and
Yeah.
they
They
kiss
kiss for
against
the
the
first
wall
time.
or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I mean, like, I didn't mind it, but like I said, I just think the relationship could have really uh, occurred over time, had a ton of detail, and maybe had that angst more.
Yeah.
Because now it's just like, okay, well, they're together, I guess.
That's why I don't want them to not be together in the end. In the end,
Hmm.
we'll do a whole what we think's gonna happen in the third book. But
Yeah.
I just it's really soon.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get thrown through a loop de loop. But
I mean, I think so too. So those are my expectations. That's what I think.
that's I agree. I think there's a lot of theories. I think there's a lot of theories that have been again resolved, done with, and a lot of them were correct. And that's why I'm like, okay, so theories we can have a lot of them. It's okay to question. I think that
Yeah, for sure.
confirmed it.
Well, I think it also, she is saying it's kind of right in front of you. So I think when people develop the theories and don't necessarily like, I don't know that you have to dive so deep
Hmm.
between the lines. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
probably is just like right there.
right. Well,
That was our thought on Fourth Wing.
yep. What
Definitely
what
not.
would you rate it? What's your Goodreads rating?
Mine is like a 3,
I agree.
just because, I mean, because of all the things that I look for,
Yep.
in a series, a book. I I think it was a easy read.
Hmm.
So, what about you? What was yours?
Mine's a 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thanks, Fourth Wing. Fly or die.
Yes. Fly or die, baby.
Yeah. So, did you have anything funny happen to you since last time we talked?
Um, Let me think on this. Yeah.
Mom wants to read them.
She does.
I was like,
No, Mom, don't do it.
maybe not. I was like, there are some scenes that are a little bit. She's like, I don't care. And I'm like, okay, but I don't want you to know that I've read them. Like, that's
Yeah.
the weird. She's like, I don't care. And it's just funny to me. But I told her, I
That's
was like, you know what?
hilarious.
I mean, I think she would.
She liked the eldest. Like, she read
Yeah.
all those, I'm pretty sure.
She's like, I don't
So I
care
think she'd like the story.
as long as it's not a lot of it. And I'm like, it's kind of way more romantasy than fantasy. It's like,
Yeah.
honestly, I was like, you probably
Yeah.
wouldn't like it that much.
Well, do you have any life updates? Do you have any garden
Yeah, I have
updates?
life updates, like plant life updates.
Yeah.
I have for our visual people,
Yes.
I've got
She's,
some tomatoes
I can't
growing.
read it backwards.
And
Yep. Nice.
I have lots of other tomatoes growing, but
So next time, expect us to talk about our hobbies, maybe a little bit more about ourselves.
if anyone has any
Um,
questions.
yes, if we get any questions from anybody. Oh, on for those of you who are listening on Spotify, there's a poll at the end and a question that you can, type a bunch into. And the question is, what's on your TBR, your TB red shelf? What, do you have any recommendations for books and movies and TV shows? So we want to know. So jot it down, write it down, submit it.
Yes. Also find us
And
on, sorry, go ahead.
yes, no, you go.
I go. Find us on TikTok under share
Mm-hmm.
chapters. I have a couple videos on there. Instagram, Threads, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Look us up on YouTube.
Yep, to
Shout
be
out
read
to
shelf.
our Spotify listeners from last episode, our
Yes.
previous episode, talking about Throne of Glass. So if you haven't listened to that or watched that, go back and listen. Talk
Yep.
about Throne of Glass. Miss Selena,
Mm-hmm. Selena.
and
But there are spoilers.
spoiler.
Every time we say spoiler, you guys take a shot.
Yeah. So we have jumped back and forth between Throne of Glass series and Fourth Wing series.
Yes.
I am just starting out the Throne of Glass series. I'm on the second book and I will be finishing that by probably tomorrow or the next day. And maybe we'll jump into that one on like the fourth episode.
Yep.
But Fourth Wing for both of us and Iron Flame and just the Empyrean series is relevant and new to both of us. And so it's
Yes.
kind of a different experience discussion wise because Sara knows everything that happens in the Throne of Glass series. Everything with Sarah Dumas, she
Yes.
knows. So for me, I'm the new reader, but with Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, we're on the same page. It's the same like
Yeah.
world. So I
Yeah.
think it's a
There's
little bit,
definitely.
yeah, it's easier to talk about.
Okay, so I do have a response from the Spotify poll when we were talking about, what's on your to be read. Someone commented that their current reads were The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and that is by Taylor Jenkins Reid, or maybe Taylor Reed Jenkins, whatever the order is. As well as I'm Glad My Mom Died, and that's by Jeanette McCurdy. So thank you for submitting that. Please send us others. Please, please, please.
Please, my TBR is just growing so rapidly.
Yeah, as if we need more to put on there.
Yeah, yeah. But all
So,
right, till next
okay,
time.
guys.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks,
Thanks.
Gma.
Yep.
Thanks to our friends and family. Shout out.
Shout out. Thanks,
Shout
y'all.
out. Peace.